Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Construction Financial Management Association's Chat with the Chairman. I am your host, Kevin Booth, CFMA Chairman, and I'm pleased to welcome today my good friend, CFMA's President and CEO, Stuart Binstock. Stuart, thanks for taking time to stop by and chat with me here today.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, nice try with the fist bump.
I thought I'd try. All right, so CFMA is 39 years old this year, and you have been with the organization for the last 9 years, nearly a decade now. So give us your perspective on how the association has changed over this last decade.
Well, I think there's two things that we've done of real substantial significance. The first one is we've really focused on external recognition. And by that, I mean we've really tried to get our name out there in the industry at large. When I first took this job, somebody called me up, congratulated me, and said, congratulations on taking over a sleeping giant in the construction industry. What they explained to me was CFMA had a lot of resources, a lot of people, but didn't have a real name recognition in the industry. And I think that's really changed over the last 9 years. I think we've really grown our influence in the industry through a number of things that we've done. But the culmination of all of that is over the last couple of months, we've had two leading construction industry associations contact us, not the other way around, contact us and wanted to put together webinars on COVID-19 in conjunction with us. So I think that says a lot about where our placement is in the industry. I think we have a much better name recognition. The second thing is when I got here, well, one of our strategic goals was to increase membership by 10%. There was nothing to support it, nothing behind that. Just a bold statement, let's increase membership by 10%. So the esteemed leadership at that time, I think in its wisdom, decided, let's stop talking about growing membership. Let's increase value and members will come. And that's exactly what's happened over the last 9 years. When I started, we had somewhere, I think about 6,300 members. We have over 9,000 members now. So I think that speaks volumes about what we've been able to accomplish. Now, the economy has also been good. I don't want to take full credit for all of that. But the reality is we have increased member value. Our monthly webinars, our increased emphasis on improving the benchmarker, all of our educational products, we've grown that substantially, and we've focused on doing it online. All of that, I think, has made a big difference in member value. And I think people have seen that, and so our membership has grown as well. Now, having said that, there's a couple of things that have stayed the same. And that's the passion and leadership of our staff and of our officers and our executive committee. Those folks, both the staff and the volunteer leadership, are just as passionate as they were 9 years ago. And they're one of the great and important reasons why we've been successful.
Absolutely. Well, as the chairman and leader of CFMA, I am curious to know how you view the role of a leader, especially during difficult times like this pandemic.
Well, my views have changed over the years. Hopefully I've grown as a leader. I think I have. And one of the reasons is, people a lot of times, everyone always used to talk about IQ. Now everyone talks about EI, which is emotional intelligence. For those of you who've gone through Spring Creek, our leadership program that we do once a year, we do a strength deployment inventory. It's a personality assessment profile. It's like Myers-Briggs, and it talks about what's your leadership style. And I'm very keen on that. Understanding your leadership style, I think, is important. And because I've taught this and done this for years, I'm very sensitive to my leadership style, the pros and cons. And believe it or not, I know this will surprise you, Kevin, there are actually a few cons in my leadership style. Yeah, a little bit. So sometimes I'm a little too direct, a little too blunt, and you've got to learn to tailor that to the person you're talking to. I feel a little bit like a coach, and I've had some great coaches over the years in my history as an athlete, and what they were able to do was find that thing that motivated me that was different than what motivated other people. And I think of myself as a coach at CFMA with our staff and do the exact same thing. There are certain people who, frankly, money is important to them. Then there are others where recognition is important. Others where, having a leadership role is important to them. I think you've got to find that thing that somebody cares about and then work with them and encourage that thing that makes them feel important. So I've learned about that. And I think the other thing is adaptability. For goodness sakes, if you're not adaptable in today's day and age, you're not going to survive. So I've become much more adaptable, and I've learned I don't have all the answers. One of my favorite quotes is, "A wise man knows what he doesn't know." And so I'd like to think every once in a while I'm a wise man, because I know I don't know, and I have a lot to learn.
Well, you mentioned that adaptability is an important trait for leaders. Something that you recently decided to do is to transform CFMA's annual conference and exhibition into a virtual conference this year. So walk us through that process and the decisions behind it.
Well, I was with you in the middle of March at ConExpo, you, me, and 100,000 of my best friends, which was incredibly frightening experience, I must add.
Yes.
But I survived it. I'm not sure how, but I survived it. But I came back from that. I realized right then and there that we had a huge problem on our hands, and the entire staff chipped in, and we very quickly converted to thinking about a virtual conference. Now, we couldn't make that change until we got permission from the hotel to release us from our potential liability. We were staring at about $1.2 million in a bill from the hotel. Once they released us from that, it was pretty clear that we were going to switch to a virtual conference. So once we did that, there was one other thing that we had to do that was very important. Both our officers, the executive committee, everyone we talked to, talked about flexibility and putting some kind of virtual conference together. So June 22nd through June 26th, of course, is our virtual conference. I hope all of you who are listening are aware of that. But the thing that's very important to understand is, except for maybe one or two sessions, everything will be on demand. And you don't have to listen to a thing the week of June 22nd to June 26th. If you're knee deep in business and you just can't get away, you can listen to everything until September 30th. And you have complete access to everything. And you'll get CPE credits for all of that, as NASBA, the governing body regarding CPEs, has changed their rules. And so you don't have to listen to something live. It can be on demand or live, and you'll still get CPE credits so long as you listen before September 30th. That was really important to us. Once we got that flexibility, we went full speed ahead. I got to congratulate the conference programming committee for turning this thing around very, very quickly. This is not the same conference we were going to do this next week in Washington, D.C. It's substantially different. And they very quickly turned this around, created new content, very specific to COVID-19, very relevant to what we're all dealing with right now, in addition to some other important programs on leadership and other basic things on tax law and things of that sort. But the program is flexible, and I'm looking forward to having all of you come visit with us and see us on that week.
Great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the virtual conference. Well, Stuart, thank you for joining us here today. Before I sign off, though, I want to correct an oversight. Some viewers of our 38 questions video were quick to point out that I left off one of my common CFMA nicknames, which is West Coast Kevin. And if you want to know the sort of details behind that nickname, you can ask me on the Connection Cafe. Look for our Ask Me Anything, the AMA link on Connection Cafe, and I'll be glad to answer your questions there. And speaking of nicknames, Stuart, what are some of your nicknames?
Oh boy, I've got a couple, but before I say anything about that, Kevin, let me thank you for your leadership over the last couple of months. Everything you have done has been in the best interest of CFMA, and I think you've been the right leader at the right time. And you've been egoless in terms of your views of what we should be doing. Whatever's in the best interest of CFMA is what you wanted to do over these last 2 months and putting this virtual conference together. So I just want to personally thank you, and publicly, for a job well done. I had two nicknames when I was in college. I went to Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, and my first one is kind of a blending of my first and last name. Stuart Binstock became Stu Binstock. I'm not sure why or how, but that one stuck for quite a while. My other one's really my favorite one. Is I was kind of a happy-go-lucky kid when I got to college. I was so pleased to get into Cornell. I have no idea how they accepted me. So I became a more serious student as I got onto my years there at Cornell. And by the time I was a junior, I was really pretty serious, and I really wanted to do some good things, and I took my studies seriously. Some of my friends didn't like that. They wanted that happy-go-lucky guy. So they started calling me Bin Socrates, which is still stuck to this day. And it's one of my favorite nicknames. I really enjoy it.
Bin Socrates, I like that one. Well, I got to say, Stuart Binstock, it sounds like either a rare disease or a Broadway music festival.
Well, you know me, Kevin. I love Broadway, so I'll go with the music
Yeah.
festival. I'm sure there's some people out there who think I have a disease, so that maybe it is Mr. Binstock. So
no, I mean, I can see it. You know, is Dina Menzel going to be performing at Stuart Binstock this year? It's has a nice ring to it.
I would
Sounds a lot better than that poor guy suffers from Stuart Binstock syndrome.
You're very creative today, Kevin. Very, very.
Hey, well, hey, those are great nicknames. But hey, all of you watching, though, I want to hear what you think would be a great nickname for Stuart. So in the comment section below this video, please chime in and give us your favorite nickname. Maybe we can come up with a new one for Stuart. For those of you that are thinking Stu Bear, too late. I've already taken that one. But while you're down there commenting, be sure you subscribe to CFMA's YouTube channel. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And so one last thing is I look forward to seeing all of you next month. Please join me then when I'll be chatting with renowned economist, Chairman and CEO of Sage Policy Group, Anirban Basu. So we'll see you then. Until then, everyone stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye now.